During the night, we tried to vent the wastewater tank that's attached to the toilet. We had problems with that due to a suspected blockage, we think probably due to ice. So we directed the crew overnight to use their collapsible contingency urine devices, just like they did on flight day 1.
I have to ask this. And how many backup bags, do you have the contingency?
The toilet it technically will work with number 1 right now, but we just want to keep the tanks half full right now until we figure out what's going on with the vent line. Absolutely, it'd still go for number 2. As far as the collapsible contingency urine devices, each crew member has 2 of those, but they can be either vented overboard, which we've proven that still works, or we could be collected in contingency water bags. But we don't anticipate that we'll have to do that since we can still vent those units overboard.
We are now 2 days, 22 hours, and 1 minute.
Yeah, I think space toilets and bathrooms is something everybody can really understand. We're flying it for the first time. Apollo didn't have that kind of technology in the vehicle, so it's always a challenge. They still have challenges on the space station with toilets. It's just a very complicated thing to accomplish. So some of the things we're seeing were not totally unexpected. The icing events is things we've seen before, so I think we've got ways to work through that. We just got to figure out how we can point the vehicle the way we need to. There's other constraints with pointing the vehicle for power generation and thermal protection of the vehicle. So how do all these things work together? And you can only test that once you get the vehicle up in space for the first time. So no issues there. Other small things I just mentioned. There are a lot of little things we're working every day. I wouldn't say anything major. The crew did detect a kind of a smell coming from the UWMS or the hygiene bay area, but not a biological smell. Something. So we're trying to figure out what could that possibly be. So we have analyzers on board we can look, but we're not seeing anything off nominal in our power systems, our thermal systems. So we'll be looking into that to make sure we can understand what that might be.
I think the fixation on the toilet is kind of human nature, right? Everybody knows how important that is to us here on Earth, and it's harder to manage in space. So it's, I'm interested in, I know we're in a good state right now, but I would really like for it to be in the best state that it can be for the crew's sake. They're kind of like, it's a little bit of camping in space already, but then it makes the camping a little bit tougher when you don't have the full capability of the toilet. But they're okay, and they're trained to manage through the situation.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.